One of the most researched areas is the dark triad of personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism. Am I saying that right? Machiavellianism. And psychopathy. Whew, that was easier. Welcome back to Madame After Midnight, a podcast where we talk about life and its many pursuits of sustainable happiness. I'm Madame Donut, and tonight we are talking about a subject that far too many of us experience, but rarely have the language or the support to confront: adult bullying. Now, when we think about bullying, our minds jump into a playground. Name calling, shoves, exclusion. But let's be real. Those behaviors show up in adulthood too, just dressed in a different outfit. It might be a boss who undermines you, or a neighbor who constantly monitors what you do, a landlord who weaponizes the lease, or even a group chat that turns hostile. So why do grown-ups bully? Why do they pick certain people to target? And what's going on in their psychology that makes them double down, even when they're faced with logic, truth, or compassion? Let's start with what it is actually. Adult bullying isn't just a disagreement in one bad day. It's a pattern of intentional behavior meant to belittle, humiliate, or control someone. And often there's a power imbalance that's involved, whether it be perceived or structural. It shows up in offices, on social media, homes, anywhere where there's a power dynamic. So what makes a person, especially an adult, become a bully? Let's get into the psychology of bullying. Now, I'm no expert in psychology. I did Psychology 101 in college. That's about it. But I myself am experiencing bullying, so naturally I was very curious, so I thought I should study it a little bit. One of the most researched areas is the triad of personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, did I say that right? And psychopathy. But it sounds intense, right? These traits are highly correlated with bullying behavior. People high in these traits are typically manipulative, lack empathy, and loves dominance. Interestingly, the victims of bullying don't share these traits, meaning it's not about you being weak or being flawed. Another reason: control. Most bullies feel powerless in other areas of their life. Maybe they were excluded, overlooked, or feel small, so they bully to feel big. It gives them a false sense of dominance. Childhood trauma also plays a role. If someone grew up in a household where aggression is rewarded, sometimes they carry that over in adulthood and don't know how to deal with conflicts in a healthy way. And don't even get me started on toxic work environments. If a company or community rewards competition over cooperation or community, bullies thrive there. It becomes their playground. Now let's talk about targets. Why do bullies choose who they bully? It's not random. Bullies often target high performers, people with integrity, people who stand out in some way, whether it's the way they look, speak, live, or love. Targets are often empathetic, introverted, or just different. So if you ever thought, why me? Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not you, it's them. Oh wait, I already said that in another episode. But it's not because you're weak, it's because you shine. Now here's where it gets deep. When somebody mistreats us, we crave that final conversation, an apology, an explanation to make it make sense. But truth is, some people are not wired for accountability. Cognitive dissonance, that uncomfortable tension between who they are and what they actually do. This prevents them from seeing your side. Explaining yourself over and over to someone who chooses to misunderstand you, that's a cycle. It keeps you stuck. Have you ever tried to present to someone clear factual information only for it to bounce right off? It's because identity is stronger than evidence. Belief is stickier than truth. So how do we cope? First, document everything. I learned this recently. Keep emails, text, photos, videos, conversations, and incidents. It protects you and gives you power. Second, use no as a full sentence. You don't owe anyone your story, especially if they're not listening. If things escalate, reach out to HR, housing services, or legal counsel. Don't wait until you're emotionally worn down. And most importantly, care for yourself. Talk to a therapist if you need to. Or do a podcast like I do. Move your body, go outside. Stay with the people who remind you who you are. I invite you to take a breath. Close your eyes. Think of the person who bullied you. Now say in your heart, I release your story about me. I know, it sounds a little corny and a little bit woo-woo. But you know what? The point is, you don't let them tell your story. You tell yours. You take control. Okay? If this episode helped you feel seen or understood, please consider supporting through ko-fi.com/madamedonut. The link is in the description. Or for a no-cost way to support me and this podcast, please like and comment. Share it with someone you know, someone you care about, somebody who needs to shake off the bullies in their lives. And subscribe if you haven't yet. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Remember that your peace does not require anyone else's permission. And always, always circle back to what matters the most. I'll see you guys next week. Please take care of yourself.